To help prevent heat-related injuries during the summer months, the following safety tips should be followed. First, stay hydrated and drink plenty of fluids. It is recommended that you drink 16 ounces of water before starting work, and then drink 6 ounces of water every 15 to 20 minutes when working outside in the heat. Stores can set up drinking stations for sackers and employees who are working outside. Pace yourself. Slow down and work at an even pace. Know your own limits and abilities to work safely in the heat. Take a break. Take time for rest periods and water breaks in a shaded or air-conditioned area. Discuss rest periods with your store director. Use a cool, damp rag. Wipe your face with it or put it around your neck. Avoid getting sunburned. Use sunscreen and wear a hat when working outside. Be alert to the signs of heat-related illness. Know what to look for and make sure to check on other coworkers that might be at high risk. When possible, avoid direct sunlight. Find shade or block out the sun whenever you are able to. While you've probably heard of heat-related injuries, you might not have heard of cold-related injuries. Cold-related injuries is a risk facing all employees that work in a cold environment. Cold-related injuries can occur when the skin temperature and eventually the internal body temperature is lowered. This can lead to serious health problems like tissue damage and even death. Risk factors that contribute to cold-related injuries are wetness or dampness, dressing inappropriately, exhaustion, predisposition health conditions like hypertension, hypothyroidism, and diabetes, poor physical conditioning. Cold-related injuries usually show up in a few different ways. The most common cold-related injury and illness are hypothermia and frostbite. These cold-related injuries can occur if you are working outdoors in cold environments for an extended period of time. In regions that are not used to winter weather, near freezing temperatures are considered extreme cold. Just like extreme heat forces the body to work harder to maintain safe temperature, extreme cold does the same. When the temperature drops below normal and wind speeds increase, heat can leave the body more rapidly. Employees should use good safe working practices to help prevent cold-related injuries. Employees should stay hydrated and drink plenty of warm fluids. Employees should dress appropriate for extreme cold weather conditions. The type of fabric worn makes a difference. Cotton loses its insulation value when it becomes wet. Wool, silk, and most synthetics, on the other hand, retain their insulation even when wet. Wear at least 3 layers of loose-fitting clothing. Layering provides better insulation. Do not wear tight-fitting clothing. Wear a hat or hood to help keep your whole body warmer. Hats reduce the amount of body heat that escapes from your head. Use insulated gloves to protect the hands. Wear insulated and waterproof boots. Use a knit mask to cover your face and mouth. Try to stay dry in the cold because moisture and dampness, for example sweating, can increase the rate of heat loss from the body. Be alert to the signs of cold-related illness. Know what to look for, and always make sure to check on coworkers that might be at high risk. Pace yourself. Slow down and work at an even pace. Know your own limits and abilities to work safely. Take a break. Take time for rest periods and breaks to get a drink in a heated or warmed area. The following recommendations are for icy conditions on roads and front entrance sidewalks/parking lots. Monitor your front entrance for snow and ice. Inform your store director if you observe dangerous conditions forming. Put out your caution cones in heavy trafficked areas, such as front entrance, sidewalks, ramps, etc. Place floor mats inside the entrance doors so customers can wipe ice and moisture off their shoes before entering the sales floor. With approval and instruction from your store director, attempt to clear walking surfaces to the degree possible. With approval and instructions from your store director, spread de-icer or salt on icy surfaces as quickly as possible after a winter storm. Use your best judgment and discuss with your store director about safely traveling to or from work. Check with city officials or government agencies such as TxDOT in your area for road conditions. When emergencies that require evacuation do occur, the ability to respond quickly and orderly can be the difference between an evacuation that is successful and an evacuation that results in personal injury and undue disruption to our operations. The purpose of the following plan is to facilitate and organize employer and employee actions in the event of an emergency within our facility and to comply with the OSHA standards for emergency action plans. These procedures provide a basis for achieving a systematic and orderly evacuation in the event of an emergency that requires the building to be evacuated. Emergencies that may be expected to occur at this location that can lead to an emergency evacuation include, but are not limited to, robbery, fire, bomb threat, severe weather, natural gas or propane leak, workplace violence, suspicious mail. Any employee that detects fire, smoke, or any other emergency should respond by immediately paging a store director, assistant store director, or person in charge to the area if it is safe to do so. The employee should also call the courtesy booth attendant to report the emergency. The courtesy booth attendant should immediately call 911. The SD, ASD, or PIC of the store will assess the situation and determine if conditions warrant the evacuation of the building. If an evacuation is necessary, instructions to evacuate the store will be made over the intercom.
Attention customers and employees. May I have your attention please? Due to a situation beyond our control, we must insist that all customers and employees leave the building immediately. Please proceed calmly through the nearest exit and leave all merchandise behind that has not already been purchased.
If for some reason the intercom cannot be used, the fire alarm should be activated at a pull station. Upon notification to evacuate the building, employees should turn off any equipment at their worksite that cannot be left unattended for more than a few minutes, and calmly proceed to the designated assembly area and wait for further instructions. No employee should leave the assembly area until instructed to do so. If you do not know the location of the designated assembly area, be sure to ask your manager or supervisor after completing this training. In the event of a fire, only those individuals trained and authorized to use portable fire extinguishers should attempt to extinguish incipient stage fires before evacuating. The SD, ASD, or person in charge should proceed to the assembly area to account for employees, or designate another employee to take control of the assembly area and account for employees, while he or she assists in the orderly evacuation of all employees and customers. The SD, ASD, or PIC will be responsible for coordinating outside emergency services, such as medical aid and local fire departments. Department heads and other designated employees will assist employees and customers to emergency exits and then, if it is safe to do so, conduct a search of all restrooms, offices, freezers, coolers, storage closets, and other auxiliary spaces to assure all persons are evacuated. Those assisting others should be aware of employees with special needs. Employees should not re-enter the building until the all clear has been given from a member of management. Employees are to assemble at the designated assembly area by department. The department manager or representative from each department will be responsible for accounting for employees and reporting the status to the manager in charge of the store. Let's go over some contact information for emergencies. Always dial 911 for all emergencies. Non-emergency numbers can be accessed on CSOP. The guard shack should also be contacted immediately by the manager in charge in the event an emergency should occur, since they will be responsible for contacting proper company officials and authorities. As a final reminder, if you do not know the location of the designated assembly area, be sure to ask your manager or supervisor after completing this training. During inclement weather events, the safety of employees and customers is the top priority for all involved. Every effort should be made to protect company assets, but never at the expense of putting employees or customers in harm's way. Everyone should be aware that severe weather can approach quickly and without warning. Because of this, it is up to employees to use good judgment and to make good decisions that will protect themselves, other employees, and customers during a severe weather event. When conditions look as if a severe thunderstorm or tornado could be approaching, or if anyone comments that a severe thunderstorm or tornado has been reported, employees should monitor current weather conditions and alerts via the internet or local news station. If local or national weather reports verify a severe thunderstorm, including those with high damaging winds, severe hailstorms, or tornadoes are approaching, employees should immediately notify their store director, assistant store director, or person in charge. The manager in charge should call the district director. Only if it is safe to do so, employees should begin securing any loose items outside the store that could blow around the parking lot and possibly damage property. If a county or parish is under a tornado watch or warning, the store director and district director should be notified so they can help monitor the situation. Based on weather alerts and current conditions, the store director or manager in charge will make the decision whether or not to evacuate the tobacco barn and gas station employees to the inside of the grocery store. If conditions warrant, under management's direction, employees should take shelter away from windows and doors. Small rooms such as storage closets or restrooms located in the interior of the building are considered good areas. If customers are in the store when the decision is made to take shelter, inform them that the employees are going to take shelter away from the front of the store. Invite them to take shelter with the employees until the storm passes. If power is lost during the storm, the front doors should be locked to prevent additional customers from entering the store. After the storm passes, employees should check the interior of the building for damage. If it is still daylight, also check the outside of the building for damage. The store director should immediately contact the maintenance department and their district director if any damage is observed. Never go near down power lines or damaged structures. Lastly, let's take a look at the differences between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. A tornado watch means that tornadoes are likely. Be ready to take shelter. Continue to monitor local news sources or the internet for additional information. A tornado warning is when a tornado has been sighted in the area or is indicated by radar. Take shelter immediately.